All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the next topic. We are talking about the multiverse, WB's multiverse game, which is going to be going offline in June. Technically, the multiverse game was never really a full fledged game. It's pretty much been in beta since the game actually came out. Um, it will be removed from the digital stores starting in April, which is this month. Which I'm glad. I think we actually do have the game up in there because, to be honest, it's actually a really fun game. It's fun. The gameplay mechanics are good. I like the character roster they have. I do not like the whole. Look, I'm all for free to play games and I'm all for fighting games, but I don't think free to play and fighting games work really well. I love the one that comes to mind is Killer Instinct that came out in 2013 with the Xbox One. Really enjoyed the game, and I just felt that the game was lacking so much because the game is basically it was bare bones. You had a few characters. It had some modes in it, but not enough to make me want to invest in it. Now it's like when Mortal Kombat came out, you had a fully fleshed out game, fully fleshed out story. You had a good roster of characters, and I even went out and to buy the DLC and the DLC characters because I liked it. And I feel like free to play games would benefit more if they would do that because you do have a fan base that wouldn't mind paying $60 for an entire game and the extra to go with it if it's done right. And I do feel like the fact that there's no offline mode, although it is a quote unquote offline quote unquote, which is actually basically a training, which is stupid. And even with local, that's not as good as it should be. But a game like this is, and the thing about it is, games like this that are online and that they constantly have to have the server and everything. That if it's got the money behind it and it's got the talent behind it, it's cool. It's great. But if you do not have good direction, if you don't have the financial backing behind it, it can be a bit of a chore, especially since it's such continuous amount of effort that you have to put in it. Again, this isn't just like you just drop a game out and then patch it up. There's a lot of other things you have to that go into it. Now, the game was like now it says and I'm looking at Shaq News and I'm seeing a couple of things, but here you go. The training room and local matches will be available along with all the characters and cosmetics players have on their account. I'm interested because it's like, okay, if we can go offline like this and I already have the game, will I be able to buy more characters? Will I be able to buy more cosmetics? Not that I buy cosmetics anyway, but characters, if I think that they're worth it, fine. While online modes and matchmaking will be unavailable. Now, see, the problem with that is because this game is designed the way it is, you're not going to be able to get the full enjoyment out of it. See, the difference why games like Super Smash Brothers works and is so highly successful, and games like Mortal Kombat are highly successful, is the amount of content put into the gameplay outside of actually just buying the game and buying the characters. Where in this game, now that it is offline, because I am a more offline type person gamer than I am online. I do enjoy combat online through various games. Hell, I had a blast playing MultiVerse online. I thought it was really good, and I loved the matchmaking. But the problem with it is because it's forced offline at this moment, there are so many modes that could have been potentially put into the game at launch during development. Now we don't get that because it's gone offline. Now, that's not to say that they're not going to come back. They're not going to build up on this later on. They're not getting their footing and getting back on their game, get back on the grind or anything like that. But in the meantime, people will gravitate from this because honestly, training mode and the local battles are not enough to make the game fun. Make the game people come back for it. I mean, what is it play? When you play in games like Super Smash Brothers, when you play, you earn trophies, you earn characters, you earn different things when you play in the game like that. You don't get that in this game. Mortal Kombat, you get more complex story. You build up money to unlock other things. That's what makes the replayability so high. But just the training room and the local matches at this point, when we used to play Super Smash Brothers, when it first dropped for the 64, it was the local match. It was it was local fun that kept the game entertaining, and it still can be very, very entertaining. Though I will admit, I can't sit there and play for hours and hours in the original one like I used to, because I demand more from my developers when it comes to these games, in which the later incarnations of Super Smash Brothers did a fantastic job of building up and giving us more and more. Injustice, Injustice Gods Among Us, the same thing. Mortal Kombat, the same thing. This is kind of one of the issues I kind of have with Street Fighter and Soul Calibur, that they all stick to these same formulas of making things look better without giving more replay value to it outside of the fighting. Now, if the newer incarnations, I'm not sure, but the ones that I've played, and which are kind of what the latest one I played with Street Fighter, Street Fighter 4, the latest Soul Calibur game I think was 6, and I actually like 3 the best because 3 has so many different modes and a creative character and stuff like that. But so yeah, and that's not to say that other online these multiplayer games like this aren't doing the thing. Now there was one Brawlhalla is busting. It is on point. It is successful. They have a lot of great characters. Content wise, I still say it's a bit stagnant, like this game, like MultiVerse and a lot of these other ones, but it's still popular enough to pull. But unfortunately, MultiVerse, it has an exceptionally good idea. I mean, this is WB. Think about all the freaking characters and all the IPs and brands that are under WB and DC. And you telling me you cannot get it right in terms, but I don't know. I saw this. I've always been worried. That's one reason I do not like. I've never liked any game to be online only like this, or just like an online service like this. One of the issues I had with Fallout 76, and even with like playing like Halo, love Halo, but the multiplayer aspect of in the last 2 or 3 games was online, and I don't like that, especially how successful the multiplayer was locally on the original 3. But I think this still has potential. I will be on the lookout for it. I wish that they, with the model that they do have, I wish they would just change it up. If you can't give us a story, which you can't get a story from a game like this, but give us a whole bunch of offline modes. Let's see, just in case some stuff like this happens, you can still play the freaking game and enjoy it and keep up the momentum of unlocking characters, unlocking costumes, which I believe this game does have certain challenges which will let you unlock certain costumes and stuff like that. But with the microtransactions and stuff, all of that, that I believe that just hurt the game. And I think based on some of the statistics that I've even read about, it's the people playing the game has dropped down significantly. So I can like I said, there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes, which like I said, this game just could have been bigger and it could have been better. And I actually think it could have competed with Smash Brothers, especially with that gameplay. The gameplay was just awesome. So we'll try to keep up with it and try to keep up with and bringing the news concerning this, because like I said, I think it's actually a fun game, and it was one of the better games when it dropped, and I really enjoyed it. But hopefully we can see where they go from here.